Hi, I'm Scott, and I'm an American in Bangkok. Today on Ask the American, a man from Ecuador writes in asking how extended Thai families treat their spouse as opposed to the extended families in Latin America. Also, Bowman from Parts Unknown writes in and wonders if I can indeed speak Thai, and if so, how fluently. Okay, so let's get right to it. The first question is from Robert in Ecuador, and he writes in and says, Scott, I have enjoyed your videos and input. I'm 58 and retired from the Department of Defense at 45. I've been a long-time musician, toured for the last 7 years doing rock and roll, gave that up. Anyway, I get $2,200 a month retirement. I have no assets thanks to my American wives. I've been married twice. So last year, being alone, I came to Ecuador and became a resident. I live on the beach in Manta, and it is beautiful, but I am alone and have no family. None. My quest is to find a non-American lady, possibly to marry. My question is about you and how you fit into the culture there in Thailand. Because here in Latin America, when you marry into a Latin family, you are the lowest in the family matters. If you are not blood, you mean very little. Aunts, uncles, cousins, and so on are more important than the husband. The husband is just a tool to further the family agenda. Do you have time to tell me? Is it different there? Also, is $2,200 a month a comfortable income? Thank you for your time and my best to you and your endeavors. Okay. Robert, sorry, but listen, I don't want to be the lowest anywhere. I don't want to be treated as the lowest. I don't want to be treated like I don't matter. And sorry, but fuck that. Seriously. I mean, I don't understand how men will get involved with a woman, whether it's Thai or Latin American or whatever, wherever they may be. They get involved and they are the lowest person on the totem pole, but yet they're the ones supporting them financially. I'm not saying that, this is always the case. It's certainly not the case with me. But, here in Thailand, you're the man, period. You're expected to take care of your wife and your family, but that's fairly normal in most countries. For me, as long as my wife is not sitting on her ass all day and doing nothing, if she's cleaning the house and doing things like that, that's fine. My wife happens to have a job. She didn't always. When the kids were smaller and they were babies, I made it a point that for at least 5 years she wouldn't work so that she could spend those years with our children. And I think it was worth it, and I think that it's difficult always to do this, but if you can, I personally think that when they get older, you've spent more time with them and formed a stronger bond, and I think that's important. So anyway, we all contribute in our own ways. In the past here in Thailand, men were the absolute king. They could have as many wives as they wanted. They could do what they wanted. But now things are changing. More and more men are finding themselves in a different position in society here. And I think it has changed quite a bit even from, say, 20 years ago. However, men are still king here. What I find is that a lot of times on the outside to the world, the men are the boss. Behind closed doors, men are not the boss. The women are the boss. Women take a lot of the money from the men and take care of the money. I guess it's viewed that they're more responsible with money, although I don't agree with that necessarily. So anyway, the thing is that here, in some families, like in the Isan region, especially in Isan, they expect to have money whenever they need it. If they need money for a car, if they need money for a house, if they need money for gas or beer or whatever, if you're married to an Isan woman, this is not always the case, but some families will take advantage of the foreigner and try to get money whenever they can. Foreigners who are smart set up an agreement with their wife in advance where they give them an allowance or whatever they need financially. They agree upon an amount, and the woman just takes care of the family out of her own money that she receives. That's probably the best way to do it. People from, my wife is quite different from many Thais in that while she doesn't ask me for money, she's never been one to say, I need 15,000 baht, 20,000 baht to send home every month. She's never, ever done that. Not once. She has said, oh, my sister's got a problem or something like this. I need to send her some money. I've only got 4,000. Do you have an extra 1,000? Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll do that. But even that is very, very few, and the times that it happens, few and far between. So I think that you need to be very careful of who you get involved with, especially in a different culture, because you have expectations placed upon you that you may not want to deal with. Also, the way that I look at it is with the dowry thing and providing a dowry and all that. Generally, the dowry will come back to you, and that's for the safety of the woman, supposedly, which, if something happens between you and her, whether you die or whether you leave her or whatever it is, she is taken care of, at least for a period of time. I don't necessarily agree with that, but that's Thai culture, and that's the way it is with many people, with many couples and marriages. Not always, though. And what I think is a good Thai woman is not overly concerned about money. And although she'll think about it, if she's in it for the long haul, she's more concerned about taking care of her needs and of course her family's needs in some instances, versus I need such and such amount of money. Anyway, $2,200 is more than enough to live comfortably, especially if you're single. If you end up getting married, it's still enough to live quite well. And of course, it always depends on your standard of living. You want to live in some 30,000 baht a month apartment on Sukhumvit, then it's probably not going to be enough. Or you want to go drinking every night, or smoking, or go bar hopping, or paying for women, going to massage parlors, that kind of thing, then that money can go very, very quickly. Something else that you might want to think about is that, if you're the sole provider, especially if you're older, what about if something happens, God forbid, you die of a heart attack, you get hit by a car, whatever else, and the woman that you have has been relying solely on you, and she can't make her own money. What is the point of that? Then she's going to have to go find some other guy to take care of her. To me, that's a waste of a human being. They ought to be able to take care of themselves, at least at a minimum standard. And this is the thing, like I said, my wife stayed home for the first few years. I worked as a journalist in boxing, and my boxing gig ended about a year or so ago. She went back to work, and now she's earning a good living by Thai standards, and fortunately, if anything was to happen to me, she can take care of herself. She can take care of my kids, and they're almost 12 and almost 11, so they've got another probably 6 to 10 years that they're going to be in the house, and that we need to support them at least that long. But it's good to know that if something happened, that she's capable of earning a decent living and being able to take care of them. She doesn't have to rely on me, and I'm very proud of that and proud of her for that. The next question comes from PZ Myers is Bowman from, I'm assuming, the United States or Canada, and he says, do you speak fluent Thai? Well, ผมพูดภาษาไทยได้ แต่ไม่เก่งเท่าไหร่ก็เก่งนิดหน่อยก็แต่ไม่เก่งมากแล้วก็ อ่านภาษาไทยได้เขียนได้นิดหน่อยเขียนภาษาไทยก็แยกมากแต่เขียนได้นิดหน่อย so basically what I said was yes I can speak Thai well but not perfect I can read Thai and I can write it but writing is very difficult when I first came to Thailand I took a 20-hour course at a school on Sukhumvit Road and I studied for about 10 hours. After that, I was so busy going out to the bars and partying, I ended up not going the last 10 hours. So I got 10 hours. Then I had, there was a couple of guys who were making a movie in Chiang Mai, and they hired me as a consultant about Muay Thai and Burmese boxing, bare knuckle boxing. So I helped them get some Burmese boxers, and we went up to Chiang Mai, and I really wanted to bring my Thai to the next level when they came. So I took a 20-hour course, and the girl came to my house, I think 2 or 3 times a week. She would come to my house and teach me Thai, and she gave me books on reading and writing Thai, and it was a very good course, well worth the money that I spent. It was a little bit more than if you go into the class, but I figured that my time that it would take me to get from Bangkok to Sukhumvit, that would take probably 3 hours a day out of my time in addition to the 2-hour class. So it was a half a day every time I had to go. Instead of just her coming, me taking an hour and a half class, and then 2 days, 3 days later she'd come again and I'd take an hour and a half class. So it was much more time efficient for me to have somebody come. So anyway, if there's anything else I can help you with, please feel free to send your messages. Click like, subscribe to this channel. There's a lot more things to come. I'll have a lot of stuff telling you how to get around Thailand, what to do, what not to do. I want to make myself sort of the Rick Steves of Asia. So please, I'd appreciate the support. Do what you can. And until next time, chok di la cher kan mai. That's good luck and see you later.